order. Lieutenant Coran, will you lead us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call?
Ms. Backnick?
Here.
Mrs. Shaver? Here. Mr. Bertone?
Here.
Mr. Heitz?
Here.
Mr. Saracy?
Here.
Mr. McKinney?
Here.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve the regular council meeting for March 15th?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver?
Aye.
Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Heitz?
Abstain.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
This evening, we have a pretty good crowd assembled, and that's good to see the support for the resolution that I'm about ready to read here. We have the honor tonight of swearing in and council approving our next police chief here in the village of Fairport Harbor. It's my great honor to put forth before council David Coran, who's been our acting lieutenant since JP went out on medical leave. We did a search for a chief. I want the public and the department to know that we got over 30 applications. We pared that down and tried to sit 4 candidates. We ended up sitting 2. This wasn't a wash or an inside job by any stretch of the imagination. Dave has absolutely earned the position. The interview committee was myself, Chief Lloyd, Amy Kosick, Frank Saracy, who used to be a mayor here in town, for those of you that don't know, and we had Chris Collins. He was the former chief of Littleby Hill. So we put a really good team together and did our due diligence, and I had no doubt that Dave was going to come out on top, but it was good to see the process and have the input from the team. So again, it is my great honor to put before council for council's consideration David C. Coran for police chief. So resolution number 2022.27, a resolution advising and consenting to the appointment of David C. Coran as chief of police of the village of Fairport Harbor, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Hang on, I'm coming. Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver?
Aye.
Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Heitz?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver?
Aye.
Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Heitz?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Next week, I think we're going back to the normal way. It's too much walking. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, David C. Coran,
I, David C. Coran,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the codified ordinances
the codified ordinances
of the village of Fairport Harbor,
of the village of Fairport Harbor,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of police chief
of the office of police chief
of the village of Fairport Harbor,
of the village of Fairport Harbor,
Lake County,
Lake County,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
during my term of office.
during my term of office.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
Chief.
Mayor.
Thank you. Did you get your pictures? Yeah. That's fine. Okay. Good deal. Thank you. Yeah. I just need you to sign that, Chief. Awesome. Thank you. So you guys are all free to go if you'd like. this would be the time to do that. We're going to go back into our regular meeting. Or you have something to say?
Just, I
Yeah.
have prepared remarks.
Yeah, please do, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say a couple words. As everybody knows that I was running the operation for close to 8 months now, and I would like to thank Mayor Manros, his administration, the council, and my wonderful team of my department that had the confidence with me to run this operation. I would also like to thank my family, who was very supportive of me. Overall, I would have to say that they've been greatly supportive in my last half of my career as well. So they deserve a lot out of this process. I would also like to thank a lot of my skills that I brought to the table here. I'd like to thank former Chief Antonio Stitt and Sergeant Jerome Skibeck, who also gave me my administrative and command development while I served there at the Highland Hills Division of Police. And lastly, I would like to thank members of the community for being patient and receptive to new ideas regarding our new police department, as I would say, as I unrolled the motto of our department today, that we are a community-first police force. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Also, I don't have anything else further,
Thank
other
you.
than just in the packet.
Gotcha. You can be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Yep. All right. I need a motion to change the May and June council meetings. The due dates will be Tuesday, May 3rd and Tuesday, June 7th. We have some scheduling conflicts in the later parts of both of those months.
Move to adopt the change in times, Mayor.
Second.
Ms. Bacnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Aye. Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mayor, just a bit of housekeeping.
Sure.
Christine, can we call the roll in according to who makes the motion, who makes the second, and then follow?
Oh, my God.
That's okay.
What?
You would do it forever if nobody said anything, so forgive me.
I'll do my best. I don't want to trip over your gender, which is what I did the last time, so
So we'll get there.
tell me what you want me to do.
So, for example, if Christina makes the motion and Jeff would make the second, the roll call should be Christine and Jeff, and then
And then
the
everybody
other
else.
members, yes.
I'll try.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mayor, I just had a question.
Yes.
The other months, we're going back so we can make plans for the summer to the 3rd.
Yes. The other ones will stay as is. Yes.
So we can make plans.
Yep. It's just those two meetings there. Thank you. Okay, so we have a few more motions here that you get to practice on. Okay.
Have fun.
So I need a motion from council to appoint Tony Bertone as the council representative for the planning commission.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Ms. Bacnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Aye. Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Did I get it?
Perfect.
Very good.
It's nice.
Okay, I now need a motion from council to appoint Christina Bacnick as the council representative for the tree commission.
So moved.
Second.
It's even more important that I take notes. Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Ms. Bacnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shavers? I did it again. Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
I'm trying.
You're good. Okay, I have a proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas all children of our community have the right to live and grow in a safe and secure, supportive environment, enter school prepared to succeed, be able to choose healthy behaviors, and grow to successful adulthood. And whereas we as leaders of this community acknowledge that those rights are not always available to all children, and although there has been significant progress to increase the safety and security of our children, we renew our commitment to protecting our most valuable resource. And whereas during 2021, Lake County Children's Services responded to over 1,900 calls regarding children and their families. And as a result, Children's Services worked with approximately 1,000 children who presented a variety of issues which could not be easily resolved. And whereas over 100 foster families, adoptive families, relatives, and other alternative caregivers provided a safe environment for children who were unable to be in their family home. And whereas statistics show that a great majority of children who died from child maltreatment in the state of Ohio were under the age of 5, thus never having a chance to attend kindergarten. And statistics further show that survivors of child abuse and neglect are at a greater risk for problems later in life that affect not just the child and family, but our society as a whole. And whereas the best prevention of child abuse can only be done if we, both as a society and as individuals, take responsibility to offer parents and families the supports and tools they need to provide healthy, nurturing homes for their children. Now therefore, I, Timothy S. Manross, Mayor of the Village of Fairport Harbor, do hereby offer this proclamation designating April 2022 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the Village of Fairport Harbor. We urge the citizens of our community to join with us to become involved in activities this month and all through the year to raise awareness of child abuse and to focus our attention on providing safe environments for children and fostering confident, positive parents. Thank you. From our village administrator, Amy Cossack. I did. From our village solicitor, Mr. Lyons.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Now, our village administrator, Amy Cossack.
On April 13th, Lake County Planning and Community Development held their public hearing for the CDBG and Home Federal Grants Program for 2022. As we had discussed previously, I would like to look into securing additional funding for Phase 2 of our streetscape plan, which will include 3rd Street from Hyde to Eagle. Applications are due on May 20th. Lake County has been awarded $11.3 million in funding to build a new facility to accept dredge material from the navigational channel. Lake County will build the facility at the Painesville Township on the former CEI fly ash disposal site just west of Painesville Township Park. It is anticipated the new facility will be able to accept the process of dredge material by August 1st of this year. Capital funds. I submitted capital budget requests to Senator Yuko, Senator Serino, Representative Troy, and Representative Callender. This funding request was for the marina specific to shoreline protection for the boaters beach that will be at the center of the shoreline. There were numerous applicants for capital funds, and I'll keep you posted as we learn more. We're also in the process of creating a spring-summer 2022 newsletter, which will provide residents with village updates and events. And we're hoping to have that issue out before Memorial Day weekend. I included a number of articles in your packet where we've been covered by the News Herald. And just as a reminder, Just Run Lake County is returning in 2020-22. They'll be here. We're serving as the host. It'll be Saturday, May 28th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. That is my report.
Thank you, Amy. Any questions of of Amy?
When does the yard waste start getting picked up? Do you know?
There's been some discussion. It's usually, it's the first and third Monday of the month, and it typically starts in April. We're checking on that. There's been some talk that it hasn't quite started yet. So we're following up with Shiver Hauling to see where they're at. In the meantime, our service department, if we notice something, we've been getting it.
Okay. From our engineer, Clyde.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. I just have a quick update. We are proceeding with updating the water model, the water system model. We're collecting data and so forth for that. And also, we are proceeding with the vault design for the emergency connection to Painesville. And that's all we're doing right now.
Thanks, Clyde. Any questions? From our interim fiscal officer, Christine Page.
Okay, in your packages, you have what I expect to be the financial report going forward. I included the package for February as well because last month was kind of all over the map. This month is much more succinct. You have information that is the revenue and expenditures for the month, and then revenue expenditures for year to date. In addition to that is the summary for the bank reconciliation, which is done. I'll not issue this report until I have reconciled. So you've got a true reconciliation as well as your fund statuses, or your fund status for each individual fund that the village maintains. And behind all of that are the payments for the month that I have issued, not including payroll for this particular purpose. Generally, for the month of March, I'll not go through the February numbers again. For the month of March, your revenue was $603,303.39. You had, the real estate taxes came in, so that's why that number is as big as it is. It'll happen again in August. Your expenditures for the month were $347,281.19. Your reconciled balance across all funds is $3,142,817.46. Let's see here. In addition to this, the one thing that I did not include in these packages, and I don't really intend to unless you insist, are the appropriation status and the revenue status. These reports are here. They're excessive. There's probably 26 pages between the two of them, the two reports, because you've got so many funds. There's so much information. So please feel free to take them. I'll not include them with the reports. I'll make sure to bring some with me when we do these meetings if you want them. Otherwise, just call me and say the word, and I'll make sure that you have them. It's so much. These packages are so big, and to add another 26 pages just seems way up over the top. That said, things are going well. I think I'm finally settling into a groove now, and we get Lisa back in the office, and you know, what looks like a normal day, I think we'll be okay. So, do you have questions?
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Glad to have you on.
Thank you.
I know Dave's not here this evening. I don't think we have anything from zoning. Okay. There is no old business committee reports. Mr. Saracen?
Great job with Dave, and we heard his report. It's all in the packet. Chief, you have anything else besides what's in the packet?
No, I don't.
We have nothing else to report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Who made the motion? You did. Thank you very much. Second? I'm learning. Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracen?
Aye.
Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Heitz?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Oh, I gotta do it again. Right. Ms. Bertone, or Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracen?
Aye.
Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Ms. Shaver?
Aye.
Mr. Heitz?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Huh? Who'd I miss?
Nobody. We didn't need-
Motions, you only go around once.
Right, yeah. So now you have to go twice because we're going to pass them on emergency.
You're right, I see it now.
Right.
I
Right.
hate
So
it.
you're fine. Resolution number 2022.24, resolution authorizing the village administrator to participate in an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the purchase of sodium chloride, that's rock salt. We're already talking about winter. I don't think we've got out of winter yet. For the 2022-2023 winter season and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Suspend the rule.
Second.
Alright. Motion to suspend, Mr. Heitz?
Aye.
Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracen?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Mr. Heitz?
Aye.
Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracen?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Very nice. Resolution number 2022.25, a resolution to place delinquent accounts upon the tax list of the Village of Fairport Harbor for collection and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt. Second. Move to suspend. Second.
On the motion to suspend, Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Heitz?
Aye.
Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracen?
Aye.
Thank you. On the motion to adopt, Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Heitz?
Aye.
Ms. Backnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracen?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2022.26, a resolution appointing Ryan Frank as a firefighter for the Village of Fairport Harbor, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Mr. Sar, on the motion to suspend, Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2022.029, a resolution authorizing the administrator to apply for community development block grant funds and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
On the motion to suspend, Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2022-030, a resolution supporting fair housing.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend.
Second.
On the motion to suspend, Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 2022.31, an ordinance opting out of House Bill 172 and reaffirming the ban on discharging, igniting, or exploding fireworks in the Village of Fairport Harbor as set forth in Chapter 672 of the Codified Ordinances of the Village of Fairport Harbor and declaring an emergency. This is keeping our laws as they are current as it pertains to fireworks. The state of Ohio passed House Bill 172 that kind of allowed them in the municipalities. We're just reaffirming that. We don't want to light the village on fire. So, I've been full support of this motion, so. Anyway, ordinance 2022.31.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
On the motion to suspend, Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Awesome.
Very nice.
I lived through it.
Okay, I don't have anything else this evening. Is there anything from council?
Nice job with the chief,
You had your
man.
chance, Amy. Go ahead, Amy.
Prior to our May 3rd meeting, I wanted to check with you guys to see if you might be available at 5:30 for a finance meeting, and then at 6 o'clock for a streets and sidewalks meeting. And then we go into council at 6:30.
Okay.
Would that would work? Okay.
You say 5:30 is
I know
finance?
you. But yes.
5:30 finance.
And then 6 o'clock, streets and
Streets and
sidewalks,
sidewalks.
buildings and grounds. Okay.
Very good. Nothing else. We are open to the public.
Mayor, nice job on the chief.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yes. Please state your name and your address for the record.
Carla Ridozzi, 501 New 4th Street.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard a rumor,
No.
No
and I'd like you to
Stop
make
it.
a statement concerning it, that the marina project's put on hold for 2 or 3 years.
It's been put on hold.
That's what they heard.
Yeah, that's a rumor. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, no, there's nothing on hold. Amy was just putting in for state funding for it. You know, again in this cycle. So yeah, no, nothing's on hold.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. If nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Heights?
Aye.
Ms. Bachnick?
Aye.
Mrs. Shaver? Mr. Bertone?
Aye.
Mr. Saracy?
Aye.
We are are adjourned. Thank you.